Alright guys, today I'm just going to do a quick video on proper use of our mop buckets, what to look out for, and also what the different colours mean and where to use which mop and bucket correspondingly. Okay, so obviously pretty straightforward, sure you all know how to use a mop, but anyway, main thing to look out for, obviously, with our poles, threaded on one end. If you've got any damage on your pole, bent, or, plastic sharp edges, anything like that at all, please tag it out, throw it in the bin, let your team leader know, and then they'll let the contract manager know, and we can drop off some more equipment that's fit and ready for use. Anything that's not really 100% broken, get rid of it, throw it in the bin. We encourage our people to not use faulty equipment. Pretty straightforward with the mop to use. Obviously, you're filling it up with your chemical and hot water. When you need to wring it out, mop obviously goes in. Secure one side of the bucket with one foot, with the other on the plunger. Clamp it down on the mop, and then pull through to wring it out. Things to look out for on the mop bucket, pretty much, is this mechanism here. Ensure that your plunger and everything's working. Ensure it's clamping down on the mop. If it doesn't work, it's not going to wring out the water, and you're going to put too much water on the floor. Once the mop head starts getting a bit dirty, a bit worn out, also a good idea to either throw it out or send it back to the office to get cleaned. If the mop head's dirty, then you're mopping dirty water onto the floor, which is not what we want. Now we move on to the colours here. As you can see, we've got 4 different colours that are relevant to us. The 2 most common are going to be your blue and your red. Blue being the one that we probably use the most. This is for all your general areas. So hallways, office floors, anything that's not inside a bathroom, a kitchen, or anything like that, we use our blue mop bucket and mop head correspondingly. When we clean our bathrooms and toilets and facilities like that, we use a red mop, and it's very important that we don't use the wrong colour in the wrong area. For example, using the red one in an area that should be blue, because then we risk frost contamination and bringing in bugs and stuff that we don't want from the bathrooms into common areas, which again is cross contamination, and we do not want that. So they're the 2 most common you'll probably come across. Outside of that, we've also got our green and yellow. So for our green, that's used for our food prep areas, so kitchens, pantries, anything like that. We use our green. Now, this is very important, being food prep area. We definitely don't want to be mixing, say, the red mop with areas that should be green, because that's going to bring cross-contamination into a food prep area, which is a big no-no. And then lastly, we have our yellow mop bucket and mop head. This is used specifically for quarantine areas. So anything from a sick bay, some hospital facilities, which is not something that we kind of come across in our business. But if you have schools with sick bays or anything like that, this is the mop bucket you should be using. This one's very important because obviously being a quarantine bay or anything like that, we definitely do not want to be bringing any bugs, pathogens or anything in those areas out to the common areas. So very important that we use a yellow bucket for the sick bays and any facilities like that. And then just lastly, even though when we work, we tend to work outside of normal hours when there's not many people in the facilities, still very important that we use wet floor signs anytime we're mopping, because some people still might be working back or in the vicinity, and we can't just hope that they'll notice that the floor is wet. It's very important that we use wet signs every time we're mopping so people can clearly see that the floor is wet and to take care if they need to cross it. Thanks, guys.